Morning guys, welcome back to the show. Today I want to tell you guys, if you are feeding hay to your cattle, you need to get worms on your farm. The type of worms I'm talking about are the red wigglers. They're the kind you can keep down in your basement, which is actually where I have my, we'll call it my mother bin. And then from there, I can transfer out worms into my composters, which I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. Now, it's interesting because in the worm groups, the experts, they say don't feed your cows fresh manure. Or sorry, no, not your cows. Don't feed your worms fresh manure. Definitely don't feed your cows fresh manure. That would be bad for them. The reason why they say is because it can be too hot and it can actually heat up the worm bin and kill your worms. Certainly you do have to keep that in mind. You don't want to put too much in. But I just have a small tote. We'll see that in a little bit. And I put in about one pad every, I don't know, couple days, weeks. Depends when I remember to feed them, basically. They're really low maintenance. I highly recommend you getting some worms. So this is a fresh one. This is probably from this morning. You can see it's still nice and juicy on the inside. I prefer using these fresh pats like this. One time I brought in an old pat that had been sitting out there because I was, listening to the experts, and it had actually had an ant colony inside of it. And I had a whole bunch of ants in my worm bin. They were in there for months before they finally all died off or moved out. I don't know what they did, but thankfully that problem has resolved itself. So nice thing is you just come down with a shovel, you scoop this stuff up, and yeah, that's nice and runny. That's fresh. There's no, probably no ants living in there. So I'm gonna go put this in my worm bin. So come on, let's go see that. Welcome to my basement, everybody. Please don't mind the mess. I got a little bit of everything going on in here except for organization. So this is my worm bin. This is just one of those, what are they, $10 totes you get at Walmart or wherever. I started this in the spring. I just keep this cardboard on top because the worms don't like light, so they'll actually run away and hide. You can see in the bin here, all this, I don't know what you'd call this looking stuff, but this used to be cow manure, and the worms have just gone through it, and now it's just this pretty nice fluffy stuff. There's a worm right there, actually. So you can see there's actually still a fair bit of manure in here. I probably don't actually need to feed them today, but I'm going to feed them anyways. You can see we got some harder old manure over here. If we lift this up, we're going to see some worms underneath of it. See, you can see they really like this stuff, so I'm not afraid of feeding it to them. I've put in some charcoal. I'm trying to make my own biochar, and I figure inoculating it inside of the worm bin is going to be really good for it. But that's still in progress. So anyways, here's the fresh manure from today. I'm just going to plop it in there. And that's it. The worms are going to eat that. Now, you might be wondering, this has been here for a year. This is all the manure that it's produced. Sort of, yes. But I'm going to take you outside and I'm going to show you my Johnson Sioux bioreactor, and that's really why I have this this worm bin going in my basement. Now you might be wondering, you just put a bunch of cow manure in your basement, doesn't that stink? And the answer is, at this exact moment, yeah, when it fell off the shovel, this stinks. That's going to get a cover on it in a matter of days, and really, once it's not disturbed, it's not going to stink any. You don't even know this is down here. My wife doesn't know, and she hasn't found out yet, so it doesn't stink too bad. I like using my basement. It's unheated. It's 20 degrees Celsius and 58% humidity, so it's pretty good for the worms. It's not ideal, but it's good enough that they will grow and thrive in here. So if you've got a basement, you can have worms. So let's go outside and let's go take a look at that Johnson Sioux bioreactor, and we can see the worms in action where they really shine. All right, so out here, this is the Johnson Sioux bioreactor that I've made. This is all part of the puzzle. So what this is, when I started this spring, this was full to the top. This is the bedding that the cows were in over the winter. So it's got hay, manure, stuff. And then what I did was we were doing some pruning, so I added in some green leaf matter to help boost the nitrogen, because there's quite a bit of hay and bedding in here, and I did one 2 years ago and I didn't have enough nitrogen and didn't break down properly. This one's going a lot better. Still not perfect, I'm still refining the process, but this one went a lot better. I'm really happy with the results so far. So what I did was, about probably 3 months ago, I took some of my worms from inside that bin and I transferred them out here into this composter, basically, and they really loved it. They went crazy in here. And let's see, I did put some bigger branches in there. That's proven to be a pain. I'm not going to do that again. But you can see this was all bedding this spring, and you can see it's done a pretty good job breaking it down. and the worms have absolutely loved it. They are all over the place in here. Typically with a Johnson Sioux bioreactor, you're typically supposed to wait 2 years before you actually harvest it. I might try and actually wait long enough this time, but there's a good chance I'm just going to end up putting this in the garden in the spring when I'm planting. But this is some of the best soil amendment that you can get. And the best part is you're turning a waste product, which is your old hay that the cows didn't eat, and you're turning that into, which could be a very high source of revenue, the worm castings, or just great for building your own garden. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please go ahead and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day.